Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. This is the video that I told you I would make as a replacement for my live stream this past week where I ended up getting sick and I couldn't finish the live stream. And I'm so sorry about that. I really feel badly and I hope that this video will make up for it. I really appreciate all the wonderful and kind comments that you've made to me in my Facebook group. It really matters a lot, and hopefully the doctors will find out what's going on. But so far, no answers. So here I am in my recliner where I know I'm not going to faint, and I am going to show you how to make the card we were going to make. I just want to add a quick reminder that these things that I'm teaching you are for your personal use only. If you want to try to use these to be able to produce things to sell, like on Etsy, you need to check all the licensing agreements yourself. So with that having been said, let's get started. Here you'll see that I've started in Creative Fabrica. The reason for that is that after my presentation at the Card Maker Success Summit, several people commented that they couldn't find enough free images in Canva. There are actually about 1 million free images, but you have to scroll and scroll to find them, and that can be really time-consuming and irritating. So I wanted to be sure to show you how to upload free images from Creative Fabrica into Canva, and it's really easy to do. So here I'm on the creativefabrica.com website, and you'll see that I actually searched for back to school clip art. I have discovered that searching for clip art, all one word like this, is a really good way to find the types of images that we want to be able to put on cards. There's thousands and thousands of images on Creative Fabrica, and you want to try to get it narrowed down so that you can find what you're specifically looking for. So I found that adding this clip art on here is really good for these types of images. When we search for other things, we won't do that, but for this is what we're going to do. Back to school clip art. Then as I scroll down, you'll see there's all these filters, and I have clicked illustrations and freebies. And there's actually 358 free back to school illustrations and clip art that are here on Creative Fabrica. So if we just scroll down more, we're going to find the one, there's so many different cute ones. We're going to find the one that I chose, which is this one right here in the middle. It's called Back to School Clip Art. I'm going to click on it and it will bring it up, and you can see here it says commercial and full print on demand usage allowed, but again, be sure to read the licensing agreements. When you pull these up, you can click on these little icons here and they will show you the different elements that are in the set. Aren't these cute? They're really sweet for a young child for going back to school. And you can also see here that it says you already downloaded this file. But for our purposes today, I'm going to re-download it so you can see the process. So I'm going to just download it here, and that will take just a couple minutes. And then I'm going to click on my downloaded file, and it will open up in my downloads folder. This is on a PC, not a Mac, so I'm not totally familiar with Macs, but I'm assuming it's the same process. Up here at the top off screen, it says extract all, and that's what I'm going to do because this is a zip folder. And extracting, you can just think of as being unzipping it because everything is compressed and it's going to make it back to the right size again. So you don't see that anything happened, but here if I go over to my downloads folder, you'll see there's that zipped file, and you'll see all kinds of things. I've been messing around with some artificial intelligence websites. Very interesting and very fun, and I'm hoping to be able to pass that on to you a little bit in the future. But here we see this file, and it says Back to School Clip Art, and this is the one we just downloaded. I'm going to open this up, and then if I click View up at the top and click on the extra large icons, you can see now I have all these on my computer. Now what we're going to do is go back over to Canva, and I've opened up a new document, 8 inches by 8 inches. That's another thing that was a comment to me after my Success Summit presentation, was that I automatically make everything 12 by 12 because there are people who are in my email group who get the freebie email images who actually have 12-inch by 12-inch printers to print scrapbook-sized pages. So I make things automatically myself in 12-inch by 12-inch. But you can make these, and this one I made at 8-inch by 8-inch, as long as it's square so that the patterns will repeat correctly. That's all you have to do. So here I have an 8-inch by 8-inch new document. And what I'm going to do is going to upload these images. Now, as I already have, but for my purposes today, I'm going to go over here to Uploads, click Upload Files right up here at the top. And then we're going to go to our downloads. And here is that same folder. We're going to open it up. Open up the back to school images, and then just highlight all of them and go down here to the bottom and click open. And here you'll see that they start to come up right here in your upload folder. And that's all you have to do. Just go to Creative Fabrica, download, then unzip the file and upload all the images, and they're right there for you to use. It will take a couple minutes for all these to upload. So I'm just going to put it on pause for a minute until it's done. All of the images have uploaded now, and here I am in a folder that I made for our back to school clip art, and I want to show you how I put images into that folder. Anytime you're in your upload folder, you can click on the three little dots next to an image, and one of the things that you can do is move it to a folder. If you click here, it will show you all the folders that you have, which I have a lot of them because I've made a lot of designs. If you don't have a folder yet, just click Create New, and then you just click Move to Folder. Now I already am in my Back to School Clip Art folder, so I'm not going to move it anywhere. But if you want to do the one image, you just do the three dots. If you want to do multiple images, like moving all of these images from your Uploads folder into your own specific folder that you label, you just click them like that in the little boxes. Click down here to move to folder, and the same thing will come up. And you can click whatever folder you want, or you can create a new one, and that's the way you move images into a specified folder so that you can stay organized in Canva and all your images don't just get all clumped together in one big, huge, confusing mess. So I suggest that when you do upload things like this, you click these images in your Uploads folder, and then you move them to a folder that you name, and then therefore you can access it and they'll all be together. When you want to access a folder, you come over here to Projects, and then you click Folders, and all your folders will come up. And here's my Back to School Clip Art folder, and all of my images are here. So that's how you upload images from Creative Fabrica. You put them into folders yourself for your own organization, and then they're here to use whenever you want to make a design using them. To start today, I wanted to show you how to make polka dot paper, and there's some things to learn about this. I actually just searched here in Elements up here for seamless polka dots. And I went to graphics, and you can see there's lots of them. This is the one that I picked. And remember, you want to get a free pattern, and so this does not have this little crown. The little crowns say Pro, but this is absolutely free, so you can pick this for yourself. And I'm going to go back over here to Projects. I saved it in my Projects folder, because I want to start our paper today and add a little bit of background texture. Remember that texture and dimension are really important, and they're still very important even when you're designing in an online atmosphere. So I want to just add a subtle polka dot to the back of our pattern. And I'm going to choose this black and white pattern, but then you're thinking, well, I don't want black and white polka dots on the back of all of my pattern papers. No, you can change the color, and now that's what I'm going to show you next. So we're going to go up here to Edit Photo. Oh, before I do that, I'm going to change the color to this turquoise. So I'm going to just put this bottle of glue on here and you'll see why in a minute. So I'm going to highlight my dots. I'm going to go up to Edit Photo. And then you don't see it here, but it says Effects right down here. And there's a little side arrow and it goes over here to Duotone. That's what you want is Duotone. And you're going to click Custom. And now I'm going to change these colors. So I'm going to change this bottom box to be that blue, and I'm going to click on the little eyedropper there and come over here to this blue and pick a blue. So it changed it to blue. Then I want the background, the highlights to be white, so I'm going to make them completely white. And now you can see that the pattern of the dots change colors, and that's how you change them to the color that you want. And since this is a free pattern, you can look for it yourself and make that happen with anything that you want to make for yourself. So now I'm moving that up into the upper left-hand corner, and I'm making sure that it's going to be exactly a quarter of the page by stretching it out and bringing it back to that center. Then I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going a little fast because I'm assuming most of you have seen some of my other videos that talk about this. But I'm going to duplicate it and then just drag it over here with my mouse. Now I'm going to highlight both of those squares, duplicate them again, and move them down below. And now to check if it's seamless, I'm just going to go down here to this double arrow, and you can look at the pattern. You can't even tell that I patched that together. It all looks exactly seamless, and that's what we want. So the next thing I'm going to do is make these a little bit transparent because I don't want them quite as dark blue as they are now. So I'm going to highlight them all. I'm going to come up here to this little box that says transparency that looks like a little grid. And then I'm going to just lower the transparency of them just a little bit. I don't want them to be totally transparent, but I want them to be a little bit lighter than the other images we're going to put on. Let's put them at 75% or so and leave it at that. And then while they're all still highlighted, I'm going to lock them right here. Now, as I've told you before in other tutorials, there are two locks. This one right here actually locks the whole page where you can't do anything on the page and keep editing it. This one up here just locks the elements that were highlighted. So I can unlock it again. Now you see that those highlighted areas are those 4 squares, and I'm going to lock them. Then I know that I can mess around putting elements on this page and it's not going to mess up those background dots. So now I'm just going to start putting my elements that are going to be the matching elements. And I think I'm going to pick this cute little guy for the side elements on my page and just make him a little smaller. And then remember, the horizontal red line comes up here when I have him exactly halfway in the page. So I'm just going to keep him halfway and I'm going to move over here until this red line appears. Let me zoom in and do it really close in here for you. So here we go. There's the horizontal line that means that I'm halfway vertically. Now you don't have to put him halfway, but I'm just doing that for my example. And then I'm going to slide him over until both that horizontal line lines up and there's a vertical red line that shows up right there on the edge of my paper. Then I'm going to release my left mouse button. Now I'm going to click on him again and duplicate him and come right over here to the other side and have the horizontal line show up, which it does, and slide him over until a red line appears on right there. Can you see that line appear right there? Right there on the right-hand side of my page. That means he's halfway on the page and halfway off the page. And there is my first element. I'm going to come over here and hold my shift key down and click on the first half that I did. And now you're going to see that they're connected with these little white dotted lines right here. It's highlighting those squares while I'm going up here, but you can see those little white dotted lines here and here. and they're exactly parallel, and so I'm going to group them. And then I'm going to go down here and make it a little bit smaller so I can actually work. So now you see that we have those two cute little characters all grouped right there. And there are many ways to do this. So I'm just showing you one way today, but the main idea is when you want it to match and be seamless so that you can put these squares together to make a bigger pattern, you want to be sure to do this half and half measuring. You want those red lines to show up on the side so that everything will match. Now I'm going to put a little zebra in the middle, and I'm going to try to make him about the same size. I could do it exactly, but I'm just kind of eyeballing it here for time's sake. And I'm going to move him in the middle vertically and in the middle horizontally. And can you see that the vertical and the horizontal center lines have lined up? So that means that he is now in the middle as well. And I'm going to keep him highlighted, hold down my shift key, and click on the other group, and now I'm going to group them all together. So all three of these are all in one group together. And now what I'm going to do is duplicate them. And I'm going to move this up so that it's still in the center, and look at that red line that comes up here at the top. That means that those images are halfway off the top of the page and they're lined up with the ones below them. So I'm going to let go of my left mouse button and duplicate it again and bring them down here. Now, you can put separate images in every corner. You can do all kinds of things, but I'm just showing you how to line these up halfway. And the easiest way and quickest way is just to do this duplicating process. Now, can you see that the center line vertically is showing me that this is centered again? And then there's the line across the bottom of the page that's red that shows me that these images are halfway off the bottom of the page too. And then I'm going to release my left mouse button. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight everything on the page, all three groups highlighted. Can you see that? There's three purple boxes. They all highlighted, and what I'm going to do up here is lock them. That means that the dots are locked, these images are locked, and now I can just go ahead and add images all over the place as long as they don't stick off the edges, just to make it cute. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to speed it up while I do, because you don't need to see me going through it real time putting all these images in, but I'm just going to pick a lot of these images and kind of play with them. As I put one on, I want to show you that you can size them by the corner handles here on this box. And I want to make it a little smaller. And then you can turn them with this little circle down here, this little image right here that has little arrows in a circle. You can turn them to make them at an angle. So you'll see me doing that very quickly as I speed up this film. Okay, I think I'm about done here. As you can see, I also just kept hitting this duplicate key to duplicate items right here rather than dragging them on from the side in my folder. But here you see a basic pattern. This is not perfect, but you know what? It doesn't have to be perfect. You can play with it and keep playing with it to make it look all even and whatever, but sometimes it looks just better if you just looks like everything was just kind of dropped on there. I think I do see one area right here that needs something else, so I'll just quickly duplicate something and put it there just to take up the space. Let's see, what do I want to do? I think I'll just do a little pencil, duplicate it. Nope, there's a pencil right next to it. That's not a good idea. What haven't I used yet? Let's see here. I haven't used this marker, so we'll put that marker in, make it really tiny, and put it right here and circle it around to be a little bit different. And there we go. Now I'm done. So what I'm going to do now is lock this page because this will lock everything on the page and nothing will get moved if I do anything else to it. So I'm locking the page. Then what I'm doing is I'm going up here to share and I'm going to download and I'm going to go here. Now it says I have 11 pages and that's because all my practice pages are on here as well. So I want to unclick the pages 1 to 11 and I just want to click current page 1. So I just want to download a picture of this page. Then I'm going to click done, download, and it's going to download it and put it in my downloads folder. Here on Chrome, it also puts it up here at the top, right outside of the view window on my video, but it's right up here at the top, and I can actually just drag it down from up here, and there it is. And then I'm going to put it in the corner, drag up the corner handle to be in the center of the page, duplicate it, put these together, highlight both of them, duplicate them again, and look at there. We've got our whole pattern paper all made for us. Now I'm going to click on this double arrow down here and you can see it. There it is all put together. And all these little animals that I stuck halfway off the edge all match when they're put together on the edges like that. That's why we do it that way. Now, again, there are more complicated and more advanced techniques for this, but look at how cute this is, just doing this. And you can see that our dots in the background add some texture and dimension to it. So I would suggest doing that. You can also search for seamless stripes or any other type of pattern that you'd like to put as background. You just have to do some searching in Canva to get the free ones, or you can search for seamless polka dots or seamless stripes or seamless whatever you want in Creative Fabrica. You just have to be sure that you search for seamless because not every pattern will match up when you try to match it edge to edge like this. I hope that's making sense to you. So now we have our basic pattern paper, and what I'm going to do is go ahead and download this one. Share, download. I'm going to click on Al pages 1 to 11 to uncheck it. Come down here to current page 2, done, download. And this is going to make me the smaller image of the pattern that I just created. I'm going to add another page here by clicking this little arrow here. And then I'm going to just drag this down onto my page. You can also come over here to upload files here on the left and upload it straight from your downloads folder on your computer, just like we did earlier. It doesn't make any difference. But here's my image. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this image now to my folder that has my back to school items in it. So how am I going to do that? I'm going to go over here to my uploads folder, click on the 3 little dots, move to folder, click there, and I'm going to find my back to school clip art folder, move to folder, and it's going to move it. And so here I'm going to click on projects and scroll up here, and look at there it is right there. These are others that I've made when I was practicing, but this is the one we just made together. So look at how easy that is, and I'm going to take it off here, and if I wanted to use it, I would just put it here and move it around and make it the whole size if I wanted to fill it up again, and there you have it. So now what we're going to do is actually make a card using this and with some other new tricks that I want to show you. So here we are back in our back to school clip art folder, and I've opened another new document, and this one is 5 inches by 7 inches because I'm going to make a 5 by 7 card using the design that we just made. So I'm going to come over here and click on it, bring it over here, and just stretch it out to be the whole size of the paper. And then I can move it around to be exactly where I want it. Maybe I want it to be totally centered just like that. And that's it. And then I'm going to click on it and lock it so that nothing can interfere with it. That's the first step to making our card. The next step is I'm going to scroll down here to something that I saved in my folder. Have to get past all these elements, and that's this. Now, what is this? This is a label. By the way, you can always click on the little eye up here every time an image is highlighted to show the information about it. And what I did is I just searched for label, rectangle label. And here you can see that the title of this is label design. Let's go ahead and do that so you can see what I'm talking about. Go to the elements folder and then click rectangle label. And go to graphics. I don't want a picture of one. And here you can see them all. And you see most of them have the little crown that says that it's a pro element, but here's one that's not pro, and here's one that's free, and here's one that's free. There are several that are free. Here's a vertical one that's free. Here's an orange one, a blue one. There are lots of different freebie ones in here. You just have to kind of search. In any case, I already did that because I wanted to just save some time. So I'm going to pull this down here. And of course, this page is white, so you're not going to see it very well. I'm going to change it over to another color. So let's just do an off-white. There we go. Now that will show you what I'm wanting to show you. I chose this label because it already had some shadowing on it, which is really cool because it makes it look a little bit more 3D. So that is what the label is that I'm going to use. I'm going to drag it back up here to my other page. And then I'm going to make this smaller. I'm going to drag it up here right to the middle. See, there's those lines again. But I'm going to go over here and I'm going to just make it bigger by dragging it this way till it takes up the whole sideways space, the whole width of the card, and move it down here till it's in the center. There we go. Now, I don't want it to be white. I want it to be a color that's in my card. So you want to come up here to this square, which is where you choose the colors of an image. And I'm going to click on it. And then what I'm going to do is click this plus sign and my little handy dandy eyedropper like we did earlier with the dots, and find a color that I want it to be. And I kind of decided already I want it this kind of orange from the ruler. So I'm just going to click on it and look what it did. It changed that label to be orange. And you can see that it has a slight shadowing on the top and the bottom that makes it look like it kind of pops off of the page. And that's exactly what I want it to look like. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to lock it. So now we have a band going across our page just like we would if we made it out of cardstock. Now, I don't think I've said this already, but I want to just stop here and interject. You can make this paper, you can print it, you can cut it up and use it on a physical card, and that's great. We all know how to do that. But I also want to show you how to do it digitally so that you can make a digital card, because a lot of times I find that it's fun to make these and I can send them to people free on email. They're great for last minute cards, and there's a lot you can learn about how to make cards digitally, and I'm going to hopefully over time show you a lot of the tricks that I've learned myself. So you can go ahead and download everything and cut everything out, and that's great. But here's how to make it digitally, and I just want you to be able to do it as a both and, not as an either or. So we're this far so far. We've made our pattern paper that we're using on the background, and we've made little what's called label in Canva, but it's like a cardstock rectangle across the middle of our page. Now I want to do a focal point for this, and I'm going to use one of the other images. And let me go back over here to projects and pull up my folder, and I'm going to use this little guy that I think is so cute right here. Let's see here, this one. The little cow that has the backpack and the pencil. Isn't he cute? I think he's really cute. So I'm just going to put him here on this new page. And what I want to do is get a background for him. And what I want is kind of a watercolor background, just something that's going to make it textured and not so white behind him. So I'm going to come over here to Elements and click this X to clear it. And I'm going to do blue watercolor background. Of course, you can pick any color you want. This time I'm going to look at the photos and see what I see in that. And of course, I'm looking for a free image. And what I want to do is choose a blue that's going to go along with my dots and everything back here. And I think this one is nice and it's actually free. So I'm going to click on it and come over here. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I could just use those handles and drag it around, but what I'm going to do is right click, and then I'm going to put replace background. And now we have our little cow on this background. And if I think, oh, I'm not sure I want that background, let's try this blue instead, I can just drag it over here and it'll change it. That's a pretty blue. I think maybe I like that blue better. So let's go with this one. Now I'm going to show you another trick. We're going to download this, just like we did the other images. Download. We don't want all 6 pages. We just want the current page 2. And it's going to download this little cow on his blue background as an image, like a photo image. And I've already added a new page down here. And we're going to come up and just drag him on. Remember, you can also go to your upload folder and click upload files and upload him straight from your computer. But here he is, and now he's a picture and we can move him around just like an image. And now what I'm going to show you is I'm going to put him in a frame. So I'm going to go over to Elements, click this little X to clear my search, and click in Frames. And here you see frames. I'm going to see all. And look at all the variety there are of frames. They're all free too. So you can choose whichever one you want. Look at all these different choices. And you can choose to use them the way that I'm going to show you right now. Now I'm going to click over here in projects because I already picked my frame and I saved it to my folder. And this is it right here, this one that looks kind of like a stamp. Now check this out. All I have to do is take any picture, it doesn't matter, but this is the one I made, and drag it in there, and there's my little cow all in his nice little frame with his background. And I just have to double click on it, and I can make him bigger and get him centered in there. And then click done. And there he is. Look at that. Look how cute that is. Now, when I make him bigger, I can see up here at the top that there's 2 actual little border frames. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move him up. You could also right click and copy and paste, but I'm just being lazy and dragging him up from page to page. And I'm going to put him right here in the middle. Wait for those 2 little lines to show me that I'm centered horizontally and vertically. And I'm going to reduce his size to be proportionate to our card here. There we go. I like him just like that. So I'm going to now make the frame colors to match my pattern. So this inner one is this brighter red on the actual sample. And let's make it the green that we have in the pencil or in this right here. There we go. Now it has a little green inner border, and the outer border, what shall I make it? I think I'm going to make it brown. Now you can look down here where it says photo colors and see all the colors that are in your photo also. And I'm going to just choose the brown that's in the cow and also in the zebra nose. And I think that looks really good. So let's scroll out. And there you can see the front of our card so far. Now I'm going to click these double arrows and you can see it a little bit closer in. So there we go. That looks like just a die cut on the front of the card. Now, in future videos, I will show you how to put shadowing on that die cut so that it also looks like it pops up the card, but that would make it a little bit too long today. I want to finish this card and show you the whole thing. So we're not done yet. We're going to actually download this again. And you're thinking, why? This looks like a finished card. No, wait till I show you how to finish it off. We're going to hit share, download. The same process, unclick all the pages and click the current page. Click done and download. And then just so I can remind you how to do it, add a new page with this little button right here. And then I'm going to make my background. Oh, another background, yes. And here is what I chose for that, and it's some brown paper. And how did I find it? I went over here to Elements, and I clicked brown paper background. And I went to Photos, and here it is right here. And you can see that it's free. It doesn't have one of those little crowns, so it's free. And all I did was right click on it and click Set Image as Background. And there it is. Now that's the whole background of my page. And now I'm going to add the download that we just did of our card. And now we're going to have a background panel with our card on the top. And we're going to do one more thing to this, and that is add a shadow all the way around this image so that it will look like it's popping off the page. And to do that, we're going to go over here to Edit Photo, and we're going to go down here to Shadows. And we're going to click Glow, because glow makes it go all the way around the whole image. Now you can change the size of the glow, the transparency of the glow, the color of the glow, but we're just going to leave it like this just for the essence of time here. And I'm just going to expand the size of this and move it in the middle. You can do it either by doing these lines here like we've done before, or you could go up here to position and go center and middle, and it will put it right in the center. And then I'm going to lock this page, and there's the outside of our card right there, just like that. Then I'm going to expand it here so that you can see it. And there's my cute little fun back to school card that we made our own paper. We put the dots on the back. Then we put our elements on to make our pattern paper and to make it seamless and match. Then we added it to a card panel. We put the little cardstock across the middle in the form of a label. Then we made our own little frame for the little cow with the new blue background in it. And then we put all of that on top of a background panel of brown paper, and there's the result. Now, I want to show you really quickly how to go ahead and make another inside panel so that you can have the theme continue to the inside of your card. So to do that, I'm going to quickly unlock this, and I'm going to scroll down till I get back up here to my original image here, add a page, and then I'm going to scroll back up and take this cow image here, and I'm going to duplicate it and just drag it down to this page. And I'm going to put it right here in the bottom and make it smaller. This is the inside of our card, so I'm going to make it smaller. I'm going to adjust it here in a minute probably. And then what I'm going to do is do a really simple thing. You just type R on your keyboard and it will add a rectangle or a square to your page. The other way to get to it is to click on Elements, clear it, and come down here to Shapes, see all, and there's a square right there. But all you have to really do is type R on your keyboard and it will be right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just come up here and see it has this automatic little rectangle in it, and I like to use that for the inside of my cards. It's already there as a guideline. I'll just pull this over to that, use the little handles, pull it down lengthwise. I don't care that it's brown right now, just like that, because here's what we're going to do. We're going to click on the color square up here, and instead of choosing a color, we're going to click transparent where it says no color. Now it's invisible. It's there, and you can see the purple rectangle around it, but it's invisible. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a border on it. So we're going to come over here to these little lines right here, and then we're going to use this slider to show how big of a border we want to put on this. And I want to make it about like that. And now we're going to change the color. And so what I'm going to do is come up to this square and it says border color. And then I can pick whatever color I want out of all of the images. Now on my sample that I made before, the inner frame on this cow stamp was orange. And so I made this rectangle border orange here. But because I made it green this time, I think I'm going to make it green. And I just clicked on that color and it changed the border to green. And now what I'm going to do is go up here to position and go to layers. We've done this before in some of my other videos. And here you can see the cow stamp is underneath that rectangle. And that's why that rectangle is going over him. So what we're going to do is just drag the rectangle below the cow. And now look, there's the cow stamp and it's below that rectangle. So then I can move my little cow stamp anywhere I want him, just like that. I'm going to lock him. I'm going to lock my rectangle. And there's the inside of my card. And now I just want to put a sentiment on there. And I just decided I'm going to type, have a great year. So I'm going to go over here to the left and choose text, add a heading, and type, have a great year. Make it smaller by dragging that corner boundary box handle. And then I'm just going to move it right up here. Now, I don't want it to be in that font, so I'm going to go over here to my fonts. And I experimented around and searched for fonts. I didn't want to do it with you watching and wasting all that time. So look at what I found. I found this one called School Bell. And all you have to do is just scroll down all the fonts here. I'm going to do another video to show you how to find specific types of fonts easier. But I already found this one just by scrolling through, and it's called School Bell. And look how cute that is. It just kind of looks like school printing. I like that a lot. And it says, have a great year. And I can change the color of that too if I want. And I think I am. I'm going to change it by clicking up here and making it brown. Change all to brown. And there we go. And now if I make it bigger down here, you can see that there's my little cow and there's my have a great year. And this is the inside of my card with plenty of room for me to write my handwritten note. So there you have it. Now all you have to do is download these. This is page 2 and the front of my card is page 3. So I'm going to come over here to share. I'm going to go download. I don't want all pages, so I'm going to unclick that, and then I'm going to do page 2 and page 3, done. But now I'm not going to do it as a photo image. I'm going to Click this little down arrow and do PDF print. This is so important. Whenever you design anything on Canva, you must download it as PDF print if you're going to print it and want it to be clear images. And you can remember it because it says print and it says best for printing. So I'm going to just click there, click download, and it's going to make a PDF for me that I can actually print on my printer. Remember to set your printer settings to 300 PPI or DPI, which is photo quality printing. Look at your printer manual and you will have a setting for that. And now I'm going to open this up, and here is my PDF imagery right here of my cute little card and the inside of my card. And all I have to do is print this on my printer and I can cut it up and use it, or I can adapt it and email it out. So that is it. I know we've gone through a lot of things today, and we were going to walk through all of these steps on our live stream so that I could answer questions at the same time. But please make your comments below on my YouTube channel, and you can ask any questions. I will be monitoring them. And take it one step at a time. Just go back and start watching the video again and do each step as I do it. Put it on pause or stop it, practice, and then start again and go through this whole process. It really isn't as hard as it may seem when you're listening to it for the first time. You just need to take it step by step. And when you do that, you will come out with something that you're so proud of and that you never believed possible that you could actually make and invent on your own. And I'm so excited to see what you make. So please share with me on our Facebook group what you've come up with creatively from all of these processes, whether it's patterned paper or whether you actually go ahead and make a card. Whatever it is, I would love to see it. Thank you so much for being a part of my online community. There are links down below in case you want to join my Facebook group, which is just full of wonderful crafters who are all there to encourage each other. I just am so blessed by it. There's also a link for my email list where you can get my free patterned papers and ephemera every week. And also, of course, I would love for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that every time I put on a tutorial, you will get notified. I appreciate each and every one of you so very much. Thanks for taking the time to listen to me and walk through this with me. And if I can help you at all, just let me know. Many blessings. I'll see you next time.